Good morning, PT on Ice podcast. Sorry for the delay. I'm having some internet difficulties. My name is Dr. Jessica Gingerich, and I am with the pelvic division here at ICE. So today is Monday, so you're going to get some good pelvic info. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what if birth doesn't go as planned. So this is a really important topic for pelvic floor PTs as well as non-pelvic floor PTs, because you may have someone that comes into your office at their scheduled 2-week postpartum visit, or you may have someone walk into your office 6 days postpartum panicking because they just have raging low back pain and they are unable to function as a new mom. And so I've got 3 pretty broad points that I'm going to talk about today. The reason they are broad, this is on purpose because each individual person is different. And so taking these 3 points this week and applying them to someone who is within that maybe 12-week postpartum time frame would be a great thing. So point number 1 is give them the option to talk about their birth. This is something that is not done regularly, right? People come in, we're asking them how they're doing, asking them how their baby doing. All of those points are great, but allowing them to talk about their birth, whether they're so excited to tell you, they're so proud of themselves, or they're a little nervous, right? They're a little nervous to go back to that day because maybe it wasn't what they wanted. You are going to have a wide range of emotions. You're going to have people who are so excited to tell you, they're going to be like, oof, okay, yeah, I think I can talk about it. Or they're going to tell you no. And all of those scenarios are great. But when they go home at the end of the day, they're going to be able to think about that. Think about, okay, I have got a space where I can talk about this when I'm ready. It will help them process things. The other point to that is that it will help you develop your plan of care based off of certain things. When their birth was, did they have any tearing? Was it a C-section? Was it a vaginal birth? How long did they push for? What was their total labor? What positions were they in? Did they have an epidural? Did they not? It'll help guide your plan of care. The second point is hold space for any and all traumas during birth. I'm going to use the word trauma here, knowing that can be, there's a spectrum to that, right? Someone may not say, hey, was super traumatic for me, but hey, that was a really hard time or moment in my birth. But I'm going to use the word trauma just to kind of encompass that. And so, what does trauma look like? Maybe you, as the provider, are slightly biased. You hear what they said, and you're in your mind, you're kind of like, I don't think that doesn't seem that bad. It seems kind of textbook. But for them, it didn't feel that way. Right. And so, or your last patient that came into the office, they had a similar experience and they didn't feel any trauma around it. This is a really important piece. I have a quick example here of a patient that came in and she was upset about her birth. She even said, I actually have a hard time feeling upset about this because I know my doctor did the right thing, but it was really hard for me. That was a moment where we need to bring those feelings and say, hey, you can recognize that he did a great job, but also that it was really hard for you. You don't need to ignore that or feel bad that you're feeling that way, because that's a big deal, right? A big deal when you look at someone's trauma. My third point is reassurance. So this is reassurance around their postpartum goals, around the traumas that they're experiencing. Hey, I just don't ever think I'm going to get back to working out based off how I feel right now. We reassure them, positive only always, right? You will get back, but there's a lot of factors involved. We're healing from a C-section. You've got a massive hormonal shift. You're not sleeping as much as you have been because you now have a new baby. And they're kind of dictating that your sleep, right? Reassure them that they are going to do just fine, but it can take time. And that time for each and individual person is different. And that's also okay. So I want to recap. I want you guys to take this to the clinic this week. When you have someone within that 12-week period, that 12-week postpartum period, or that fourth trimester, think about these points. Give them the option to talk about their birth. If they say no, say, okay, I'm here if you're ready to talk about it, or when you're ready to talk about it. Hold space for any and all traumas, whatever that means to them, whether they identify that, whatever experience they had as trauma, or it was just a hard moment in their birth. And then reassure them that their body is resilient and it's going to heal. Reassure them that whatever fitness goals they want to get back to, whatever functional goals they want to get back to, they're going to get back to them just fine. It just takes time for different people. And you are taking any and all problem, issue, whatever you want to call it, and you're making it positive. So we are going to be on the road in Florida near Orlando, January 11th and 12th for our live course. And then we have our L1 and L2 online courses. They're both starting January 20th, and there's still time to sign up. So we hope to see you there. I hope everyone has a great Monday.